Well, thank you, Prime Minister and Premier, and good morning. We are now well and truly into day 5 of this latest emergency event, and the emergency is far from over for many communities across Sydney, and also as this weather event moves north through the Hunter, Central Coast and Mid-North Coast areas. It's been a particularly difficult night across the Hunter area, particularly around Singleton, where we've had multiple evacuation orders issued. Residents in Singleton and Muswellbrook have been door knocked overnight, and for many it has been a sleepless night. We have additional resources arriving from interstate today to help out with our flood response and to provide some relief to our SES personnel and volunteers who have been working around the clock for the past 4 days. And as I mentioned, we're now into our 5th day of this event. We've also pre-positioned many state resources to those impacted areas, whether they be helicopters from the RFS and other aircraft. We've got fire and rescue pre-positioning resources where they are required. And of course, we've got marine rescue, surf life saving, and the Volunteer Rescue Association, in addition to the SES and all of their resources being moved around as they are required, particularly to those areas around that Hunter and Singleton area. In some good news, the rain is starting to ease across Sydney and those floodwaters are just starting to recede. But all of the river systems right across the Sydney Basin are still full, and many of them still at a major flood level, particularly down through the Hawkesbury-Nepean area. And so I'm just cautioning people. The evacuation orders are still in place, 108 as we've heard. They are there for a reason, and whilst it might be tempting for people to return home, we're really asking you to respect those evacuation orders. There's a reason why they are in place at this time, and that is to protect you, to protect your family, to protect the community, and also our emergency services volunteers and personnel who have been working so hard to ensure that there are no lives lost or no serious injuries through this event. We will start commencing today damage assessments as those floodwaters recede through certain communities in Sydney. We will be able to start with the Georges River area and the Upper Nepean, and that will give us the opportunity to get in and have a look at what damage has occurred, really start to assess that impact, and that will inform government, both a state and a national level going forward. With respect to the flood advice, whilst there is a reduced threat, we need to ensure that people do take these evacuation orders and warnings seriously still. And to that end, just ask you to continue working with our emergency services organisation, keep listening out for the warnings put out by the BOM, and be mindful of the fact that our landscape is still heavily saturated. We may see still over the days ahead trees come down unexpectedly. The ground is absolutely sodden. Any of those large trees that are top heavy can be quite prone to coming down, even if we don't experience the damaging winds that we have seen over the past few days. It's already been said this morning and in multiple times, please do not drive through floodwaters. Each day through this event, we continue to see people get caught out in this respect, people being rescued either from inside their vehicle that's flooding or from the roof of their vehicle. So there's a reason again why we ask you not to drive through floodwaters. You simply don't know what is beneath you. Those floodwaters can rise very quickly. The road below you can be washed away in a second, and you can find yourself in a very difficult situation and requiring assistance and rescue. And finally, we do have those evacuation centres operating in those high-risk areas. In the last 24 hours, we've opened up centres at Cessnock at the entrance, and at Singleton. So we've got, I think, 523 people currently seeking refuge in those centres, and would encourage anyone who finds themselves vulnerable at this time, please reach out to us. Those evacuation centres are there. They're listed on the SES website, but you can always ring Service New South Wales on 1377 88, and we will help you seek the assistance that you require at this time. Thank you.